Hello everybody, this is Kevin McCandless and you're watching a video tour of MyMathLab. So the purpose of this video is to just show you how the course is laid out and where you're going to be able to find certain information. So this is the first page you log into. It's just an announcements page. If I ever have any sick days or any changes in the calendar or anything like that, I'll post announcements here down at the bottom. And then when you first log in, you want to go to this link that says Start Here. This is where you're going to find all your videos, and I'm sure that's where you found the one that you're watching right now. And there's going to be some additional ones that you should check out that go into more detail on how to use the homework and the practice tests. Now hopefully you've gone down here and you've used this MyMathLab installation wizard. That's just going to go through your computer and make sure that everything is okay, that you have all the up-to-date software and stuff like that that you'll need. So you're going to want to do that first. Then we can go to course information, and this is where you're going to find everything for the class. So there's a syllabus, a calendar, and 2 rubrics. Now the syllabus, you're going to want to make sure that you download that, and you can choose to print it if you want, but make sure that you read that in detail. It's going to contain everything you need to know about the course as far as policies, makeup tests, and all that stuff. The calendar, you can also print that out, and it's just going to give you a tentative idea on what sections we'll be covering on which days, and it also includes when our quizzes and when all our tests are. So that's important to have with you. Now additionally, you're going to want to read these rubrics. It just explains how things will be graded. So when you get a test back or your vocabulary assignments back and you have a score on them and you want to know what that score means, that's the point of the rubrics. It'll explain how you can get a perfect score, and if you didn't get a perfect score, it'll tell you why. So then the next link is slides and materials. So this is where I upload all the materials and resources that I've created. So here you have a folder that's going to contain all of our lecture slides. So if we click into that, you'll see PowerPoint slides for the first week, and then you'll see a folder that contains PowerPoint slides for Chapter 2. And then as we progress, you'll see more and more things there. Now, if you notice at the top, it keeps track of the navigation. So if you ever want to go back and forth, you can use these links up here. So let's go back to slides and materials. Here's another folder titled handouts. If I ever create a resource, a summary page, or anything like that, I will post it underneath here. So right now you can see there's a handout on study skills, there's a summary for the properties of exponents, and then here's something that we won't get into until Chapter 3. But this is what I like to use to, to organize all of the resources for you. So still underneath slides and materials, then you have a folder for exam information, and then there's folders for each exam. So if you go into one of those, it's going to contain a study plan, how you should study, a checklist, and then it's going to contain review maps. And then after the test, this is where you're going to be able to find your solutions to the tests that I will post online as well. Then you have a folder for vocabulary pages. So as part of the class, there's a vocab assignment. There's 3 things here. The first one is your initial vocabulary sheet, so you're going to want to print that out, and you actually have to turn that in for credit. And then these other 2 ones are blank. So as you fill up the first vocab sheet and you need more, just come back here and print off these blank ones. The PDF version is for if you intend to print and just handwrite all the definitions, and the Word version is if you plan to use it electronically and type up your definitions. So you have 2 options there. And the last thing under here are extra credit assignments. So if you click on that, you'll find all the information about the extra credit assignment that's available all semester long, as well as a couple of examples. So that's everything that you're going to find underneath slides and materials. And then the next link is homework. This is where you will go to do your homework. And then practice tests, that's where you can go to do your assigned practice tests. And there's another video that goes into both of those in more detail because it really takes a little bit of time to get used to working with the homework and the practice tests and all of the resources. So I recommend you watch that video next. The third link is a study plan. It's very similar to the homework and practice test, except it doesn't count toward your grades. So think of this as just being a practice area. So if you want to go do some practice for chapter 1, you can click this plus to expand it. It has all the sections, and these are all the available questions. So there's like 403 practice problems just for chapter 1. And then what will happen is you can read up here is that little pencil means that those are areas that you need to practice. When you've mastered the area, it'll give you a green check, or once you have them correct, and then the mastery is a little graduation hat. So it's really nice, it's an electronic study buddy. Basically, it just keeps track of your progress and it lets you know where you need to spend more time. So that's the purpose of the study plan area. The next link is the textbook link. So this is why I don't require students to buy the physical textbook, is because there's an ebook available through MyMathLab. So if you come down here, you'll notice you have all the chapters. So let's take a look at chapter 2. All the sections. So let's say you want to read section 2.1. Here's all your options that go along with 2.1. You have a video lecture that you can watch. You have the textbook section. You have the exercise set, and then this will take you to the study plan where you can practice. So if you click on the multimedia textbook section, it's going to have a pop-up window that's going to look identical to the physical textbook, and then you could read along in the textbook on your computer. So that's why I don't make students actually buy the book. So that's what you'll find underneath textbook. And then the next thing, you go to videos and tutorials. These are videos and tutorials that came with your book. So they have PowerPoints, animations, so just select all, and let's say you want some help with chapter 3. Hit find now, and then these are all your resources that are available for chapter 3 for all the sections. You have PowerPoint slides, you have video lectures, the textbook that you can read, and all these animations. Now these I have not made. These are all part of your book that have been made by the publisher and things like that. So these PowerPoints are not mine. I have my own that are underneath the slides and materials. So you actually have 2 sets of slides and 2 sets of videos, and you just have an unlimited amount of resources here to help you through the class. So then moving on, the next link here says external links, and these are all links that I've provided that I've found helpful for students in the past. So the first link goes to the Math and Science Resource Center, which is a free tutoring service on campus. If you click on that link, it'll give you its available hours and the services and things like that. This is a similar link for the library that's on campus. It'll give you all the information about the resources there. Khan Academy is a website that has tutorial videos, which students have found to be very helpful, which is the same as Patrick JMT and Brightstorm. So all 3 of these links are places that you can go online for even more help. If all the resources that are on here and the ones that I've provided you aren't good enough, you can always go to these 3, and there's just even more that are great. This is an online dictionary which would help you with your vocabulary assignments. If you ever miss a day, you need to look up a word. Although that could get kind of tricky because words have many different meanings and you need to be able to identify what the math meaning is. So the online dictionary will give you all meanings, and then you need to pick out the one that's relevant to our course. Wikipedia I use just kind of introduce some topics and give some historical backgrounds on some things, so I provided the link there. And then lastly, I have a link to Facebook. I have an account if you want to add me, and you could message me through there. And like I put here, I usually reply to those within 48 hours. Although it's faster if you use my regular email, I get to those within a day. So that's what's underneath the external links. Then this next button is instructor videos. So these are videos that I have posted. So what we have, a video about replacing an exam with your final exam. You have a video on all the tutoring available that's at EVC. And then you have a couple other videos of, this was an old colleague of mine who made some study skilled videos, which I think are pretty helpful, and he's just a very nice guy, so I posted these. Take a look at those when you have time. And then the next one says homework grades. So as you work on your Chapter 1 review test and your Chapter 1 review homework assignments, it's going to keep track of your grades over here underneath homework grades. And if you want to see your overall score, you have to click this little button up here that says Show Overall Score. So right now I'm not doing too good. I have a 5% using homework and tests. And when it says test there, that's that practice test that we had talked about earlier. And the homework is the one that's underneath the homework. So you'll notice here that the tests are worth a little bit more. So you do want to spend time on those practice tests because they do go into your grades. Now that's just your homework grade. Your overall grade is going to include, participation, your in-class tests, and your in-class quizzes. So homework grades is just that. That's just your online grade. Overall grade, this is where I'm going to post your overall grades. So throughout the semester, I'll post spreadsheets that include, your tests, your quizzes, and all that stuff, and let you know how you're doing in the class. And I usually do that after every single assessment that we have. So right now there's nothing here in this folder, but eventually there will be. And then the last little link is a thing that says Find My Office. It's just a map that tells you where I'm located. So anyhow, that was just meant to be a brief overview of what's included in this site and how to navigate around it. And there's another video that goes into the homework and the practice tests in more detail. So you should probably check that out too when you have time. Hope that helps.